बोलो लाडली लाल की
जय।
श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
ध्यान मूलम गुरोर्मूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरोर्पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यम् भक्तिमूलं गुरोर्कृपा वन्दे वृन्दावनानन्दाम् राधिकां परमेश्वरीं गोपिकां परमां शुद्धां लादिनीं शक्तिरूपिणीम् अहो वकीयं स्तनकालकूटम् जिघांसयापाययदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्र्युचितां ततोऽन्यम् कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम वन्दे नवघनश्यामम् पीतकौशेयवाससम् सानन्दं सुन्दरं शुद्धम् श्रीकृष्णं प्रकृतेः परम् यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वंह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Dear devotees, today we'll be singing a Leela revealed by Shri Kripaluji Maharaj in one of his Nam Sankirtans. In this Leela, Radha and Krishna are meeting for the first time. So let us sing the first line of this and then we can talk about what's happening. तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी.
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी.
कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
मारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी,
मारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी.
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 लखी छवि तोरी,
लखी छवि तोरी.
लखी छवि तोरी,
लखी छवि तोरी.
मारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी.
मारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी.
एतिक सुंदरी गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
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 गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी.
गोरी गोरी गोरी.
गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी.
Radha and Krishna are meeting for the first time, and Shri Krishna is the one to speak first in this meeting. Radha and Krishna are one, but they appear in two forms. Ye yam Radha yascha Krishno rasabdhir dehe naikah kridanartham dvidha bhut. Radhikopanishad tells. You can turn my mic down a bit, it's feeding back. Radhikopanishad tells that Radha and Krishna are actually one. Whatever is Radha, the same as Krishna. Ye yam Radha yascha Krishna. The exact same as Krishna, whatever is Radha. But they appear in two forms, even though they're one and they have one body. Dehaika. They have one deha. But they appear in two forms. Male form as Krishna, female form as Radha. Kridanartham dvidha bhut. In order to do Leelas, they appear in two forms. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji also says, Shri Radha Krishna ek atma dui deha dhari anyonya vilase rasa aswadan. Radha and Krishna are one entity, one Atma, but dui dehadhari, they have assumed two forms. When did it happen? It never happened. They eternally exist in two forms, and yet they are eternally one. And here Mahaprabhuji says, in order to be able to interact with each other, they appear in two forms. Anyonya vilase and ras aswadan. They get the ras from that. See, Shri Krishna is so beautiful that if he looks at himself in the mirror, he falls in love with himself. He gets enchanted by his own beauty. But he can't touch himself in the mirror. He can't talk to himself in the mirror. So looking in the mirror is a very limited thing for him. Why not become another form? Then he can talk to himself directly. So Krishna becomes Radha in order to enjoy his own beauty in female form. Radharani also looks in the mirror. She even entices her own heart, enchants her own mind by her own beauty. But how can she interact with herself? She can't. So she thinks, I should take the form of a man. Then I can enjoy that ras from myself in that form. So Radha has become Krishna. Or you can say Krishna has become Radha. But neither has become the other because both eternally exist in this way. Radharani says, Mamaiva paurusham rupam gopika janamohanam Brahmavaivart Puran. My male form is the one who steals the hearts of the gopis. Who steals the hearts of the gopis? Krishna. So Radha is saying, my male form is that one, Krishna. It's important to understand this about Radha and Krishna, that they are one and the same. They descend together on earth and reveal the complete bliss of divine love once in a day of Brahma. I see a couple of the kids here from the Hinduism class in the camp. We've been discussing what is a day of Brahma. That is 1,000 times around the four yugs. Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug. One time around those four yugs, happens in 4,320,000 years. So 1,000 times around happens in 4,320,000,000 years. That's one kalp, or one day of Brahma. In that one day, Radha and Krishna have one scheduled avatar in which they reveal the full bliss of their loving Leelas. In other words, they do Maharas, they reveal the highest intimacy of their Leelas. That only happens once in a day of Brahma. Although they may have some unscheduled dissensions, like they themselves came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji to distribute that ras amongst the ordinary souls. When they take avatar and come, they're revealing those Leelas for the ordinary souls to hear about and meditate on later, not for them to be directly exposed to. Because if we're directly exposed to them, we wouldn't understand them. We wouldn't even be able to experience the blissfulness of those Leelas, because our heart and mind are mayic. Even if we saw Maharas happening, we would think there was some dance performance going on. We would have no clue what's happening. The same Maharas, Shivji, leaves his Kailash Parvat and comes running and begs to be able to take the form of a gopi to take part in Maharas. So how great would the bliss of Maharas be? Mahalakshmi did tapasya, extreme tapasya, for a long time in order to gain entrance to Maharas, but she couldn't qualify. So imagine the greatness of the ras of Maharas Leela, and if we had seen that, we wouldn't even have given a second thought to it. We would have thought it was some ordinary thing happening. This is what happens when we're not qualified. This is why some people say, well, if God is really here, if Krishna really exists, why doesn't he come to me one time and show himself to me? He could, he's omnipresent. Why not come? Because if he did come, you would probably become Gnostic. You would say, what's the big deal? Why am I going to do so much sadhana for my whole life, living a disciplined devotional life, sacrificing this and that, for what? I just saw Krishna. I get more happiness out of seeing my own son or daughter or husband or wife. And I already have them. So why am I going to run after Krishna? I just saw him. I didn't feel anything. That's why he doesn't come. If we're unqualified and he reveals himself to us, we'll say, oh, it's no big deal. And our desire for Krishna will be gone. So he doesn't appear before us until we're qualified. If we had incidentally happened to see Ram or Krishna during their avatar, because they not only come once in a day of Brahma, because Brahma's day keeps happening. We've had 18,000 days of Brahma in the life of this earth planet. So it means in the life of this earth planet, at least 18,000 times Radha Krishna have taken avatar. So the chances are in our infinite births on infinite earth planets that we would have seen Radha Krishna. Definitely we would have. But we didn't know it was them, so no harm was done. We just saw, oh, some girls are playing. It was Radharani and gopis. Or some boys are grazing the cows, Krishna and the Gwalbals. We just thought some village boys. No big deal. But if we were to make a big deal out of it, like a saint comes to us and says, okay, I'm going to get Krishna to appear before you right now. Are you ready? And we say, okay, show me Krishna. And he shows us Krishna, then we'd say, oh, we'd be disappointed because we're not qualified. So when Radha Krishna come, they come amongst their saints only. All the gopis, Gwalbals, mother, father, everybody are God-realized saints with divine eyes and a divine mind. So they are directly experiencing the unlimited bliss of every act of Radha Krishna that reveals their divine love, ras. But to become qualified like they are, we can make use of those Leelas. So now that Radha Krishna aren't right in front of us, but we can hear about those Leelas, and a saint like Shri Kripaluji Maharaj explains to us the divinity of the Leela, and that don't apply your analytical intellect in trying to understand the Leela. No, open your heart to receive the ras of the Leela. Then your heart will be purified by hearing and meditating upon that Leela. In this way, we're benefited from a distance by the Leelas of Radha Krishna. But we wouldn't be benefited by directly being with them in those Leelas until we ourselves get God realized. So Radha Krishna have taken avatar so many times, and they are one and the same, and yet here in this Leela, they're meeting for the first time? What about last avatar? They didn't meet then? What about in the divine world? They're not together over there? Yeah, they are. Then what's happening? Well, due to their own gracious nature, when they take avatar, they are also in a state of somehow not knowing who the other one is, even though the other one is themselves only. We can't understand such a divine state, but it happens to Radha Krishna. And if it didn't happen, we would be bereft of such sweet Leelas of Radha and Krishna meeting. Now, this is not some act they're putting on. Krishna really thinks he doesn't know who is this girl he's just met. He's out wandering in the Kunj along Yamuna River. No one else is around, and he sees this beautiful young gopi. He doesn't know who it is, what is her name, where is she from. He doesn't know that this is my own soul, Radha. How did Krishna forget? We don't know. It's beyond our understanding. But he really does. He's really seeing Radha for the first time. And he's drawn to her. Immediately upon seeing her, he is enchanted by her beauty. So he says, Tu hai kori. Who are you? He's speaking very closely with Radha, not saying aap kaun hai. Tu hai kori. Ori Braj Gori. Oh, beautiful maiden of Braj, who are you? And before he stops to let Radharani answer, he says something about her beauty. He's struck by her beauty. Varon rati chavi lakhi chavi tori etik sundari gori. You are so beautiful. Krishna is beside himself. So he's thinking how to describe. There is one Rati and Kamdev. Kamdev is the god of love. Rati is the goddess of love. Under Maya. So within the Mayic realm, Rati, the wife of Kamdev, and Kamdev, they are the two most beautiful in the entire Brahmand. And they have the power to induce affection or attraction in the heart of anyone under Maya. Such is their beauty. So imagine someone who wins a beauty contest in this world. You know, they have all the way up to Miss USA and Miss Universe. They say Miss Universe, it's Miss Earth Planet, really. They're not competing against other Brahmans. So start out in each city, they have a competition, then regional competition, then county competition, then state competition, and then all the state winners get together and compete, and then there's a Miss USA, and then they do the same thing in every country, and the winner from each country meets and competes. And then you have a Miss Universe. So that Miss Universe would be considered to be the most beautiful woman of this earth planet. But in the Mayic realm, there are 10 levels of Swarg above that. So in the lower levels of Swarg, there are some Apsaras. Apsaras are celestial maidens. So if you took Miss Universe and brought a pig next to Miss Universe and compared them, you would laugh, right? You're putting a pig in competition against Miss Universe? That's no competition. So that pig and Miss Universe are closer in beauty than Miss Universe and the Apsara of the lower celestial abodes. She is much more beautiful, many times more beautiful than Miss Universe. So if you put any celestial Apsara next to Miss Universe would be like that Sukar. In the celestial abodes, the bodies of people do not give off bad smells like ours. Ours, from every pore, we're excreting toxins. Our breath gives off toxins. We're always having to clean our body on the outside. We can never clean it on the inside. So the human body is nothing very desirable, and yet we try to find some beauty in it. But if you compare that to in the celestial abodes, over there, the beauty is real beauty, but still Mayic beauty, but not subject to aging, not subject to, they don't even need to wash their bodies over there. They don't feel hunger or thirst. So you can say in Swarg, that's real beauty. And then you have higher and higher abodes of Swarg. And the most beautiful is Rati, the goddess of Mayic love. So Shri Krishna is saying how to express what is the beauty of this gopi that I'm meeting, this Braj Gori that I'm meeting. So he says, Varon Rati Chavi Lakhi Chavi Tori. Rati's beauty could be sacrificed on your beauty. Such is your amazing beauty that even Rati is nothing in front of you. So like you have the pig, you have Miss Universe, you have the Apsara, you have Rati. Radha is infinite times more beautiful than Rati. So Shri Krishna, seeing his own divine beauty in the form of Radharani, is smitten and he can't help himself. He's talking to Radharani, asking, who are you? Oh, you are so beautiful. Tori sundarata samatori, laga sundarata gori. There's no comparison. The only, I could try to compare you to Rati, but she's a material, Mayic beauty. So the only comparison for your beauty is your own self. There is no other way to compare you to anyone. Shri Krishna says, Lakhatahi tune mama chit chori, jadu garni gori. Says, you are like an enchantress. You are a spellbinder. I just looked at you once, Lakhatahi. Tune mama chitta chori. You stole my heart with one glance. I just looked at you and I was gone. This attraction between Radha and Krishna is swabhavik. It's natural and eternal. So even though Krishna doesn't know it's Radha, he is still affected by who Radha is. So he's saying to her that, please tell me, who are you? You are some great Mohini, Jadu Garini. You've stolen my heart with one glance. This is impossible. So please tell me who you are. Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी,
वारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी,
मारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी,
वारो रति छवि लखी छवि तोरी।
एतिक सुंदरी गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
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 तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तोरी सुंदरता समतोरी,
तोरी सुंदरता समतोरी,
तोरी सुंदरता समतोरी,
तोरी सुंदरता समतोरी।
लग सुंदरता गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
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 गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी।
गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी,
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी,
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी।
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी,
मम चित चोरी,
मम चित चोरी,
मम चित चोरी,
मम चित चोरी।
तूने लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी,
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी,
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी।
लखतहि तूने मम चित चोरी।
जादूगरनी गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
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 गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
Now Shri Krishna begins asking in detail. Thakurji says, Kaki hai gori tu chori. Whose chori are you? Whose little girl are you? In other words, tell me the name of your mother and father. Kaun gaam rah gori. What village do you live in? So let's see if Radharani decides to answer him. So far she's not saying anything. तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
काकी है गोरी तू छोरी,
काकी है गोरी तू छोरी,
काकी है गोरी तू छोरी।
काकी है गोरी तू छोरी।
कौन गाम गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
कौन Gori, Gori, Gori,
Gori, Gori, Gori,
Gori, Gori, Gori,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, 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 गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
तू है गोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, 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 गोरी.
Without looking up, Radha is right now keeping her eyes down. But she decides to answer Shri Krishna. She says, Main hu Bhanu Bhupa ki chori. I am the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Radharani is a princess. Her father was a local king, the king of that area, King Vrishabhanu. So she says, Main hu Bhanu Bhoop. Bhoop means king. Bhanu Bhoop ki chori. Barsane ki gori. And I live in Barsana village. So Radha gives Shri Krishna a simple answer. We'll see what does Thakurji say going forward. Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, 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 गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, 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 गोरी.
मैं हूँ भानु भूप की छोरी,
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 बरसाने की गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
बरसाने की गोरी, 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 गोरी,
बरसाने की गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
बरसाने की गोरी, 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 गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी, गोरी, गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी, गोरी, गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी,
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, 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 गोरी.
Now Thakurji asks further ahead, he inquires, Naam bata tukka lakhu mama ori. Just, can you just look towards me? Tukka lakhu mama ori. Just a little bit, you're being so shy. Just look to me and Naam bata. Tell me what is your name. So Radharani does. She looks at Krishna and says, Naam Radhika Gori. My name is Radhika. Now Shri Krishna is feeling even more smitten by Radharani, and he's further emboldened that now she's talking directly to me. So he has further planning ahead in his mind. Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
नाम बता टुक लखु मम ओरी,
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 लखु मम ओरी,
लखु मम ओरी,
लखु मम ओरी,
लखु मम ओरी।
नाम बता टुक लखु मम ओरी,
नाम बता टुक लखु मम ओरी,
नाम राधिका गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
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 गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी,
गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
Thakurji has a proposal for Radharani, literally. He's proposing. Mori tori bani jaye jori, jo mane tu gori. I think we make a superb couple. Agar tujhe manzoor hai to. If you agree, then we should plan to get married. There's also, because people just apply their material intellect in analyzing Radha Krishna Leelas and they forget about the higher philosophy or they don't know about it, they get confused about these marriages. See, Shiv and Parvati also had a marriage. They were married before Sati and Shivji, and then Sati came back as Parvati. They got married again. But this is all done for their devotees. So they have something, a way to love them by thinking about these divine acts. Whom did Shiv and Parvati worship at their wedding? They did a proper Vedic ceremony. So whom would they have worshipped first? Ganeshji. But didn't they have Ganeshji after they got married? Then they created Ganeshji. No, Ganeshji is also eternal. This is just a Leela that happens. Shiv and Parvati are eternally together. Them getting married is just a Leela that happens. Sita and Ram meeting for the first time in the garden in Mithila. What a sweet Leela. but they're eternally together. Just they forget during the avatar so that they can meet again. The divine love power causes this to happen. So Radha Krishna, whether they get married or don't get married, it's irrelevant from a technical standpoint because Radha and Krishna are eternally one. Ek Atma, Dui Deha Dhari. They're one divine entity. So this Leela of getting married is a Leela to give pleasure to their devotees. And so they can also enjoy that Leela. Sometimes they do a Leela of getting married. Sometimes they don't. I told you their avatar, the number of times Radha Krishna have taken avatar is also infinite. So the variations on all of their Leelas are also infinite. In this most recent avatar, what the general public knows is that Radha and Krishna didn't get married. Krishna went to Mathura at age 11 and a half. Then he went to Dwarika after that. When he was in Dwarika, he married Rukmini and 7 other prime queens, so 8 main queens, and then 16,100 other queens who were all princesses who had been abducted by Narakasur, and they all had a desire that Krishna should be my husband. Krishna is the husband of everyone. Govinda eva purusho brahmadya striya eva hi. Padma Puran says Shri Krishna is the husband of Brahma and Shankar as well. Even they desire him with Madhurya Bhav. What to say of the souls? So all the souls, Patim Patinam Paramam Parastat. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says he is the Pati of all the Patis. All the husbands in this world, Krishna is also their husband. So this is Shri Krishna's status, that all souls are attracted to him with Madhurya Bhav. (16,108) queens is nothing. In the divine world, in divine Dwarika, there are infinite souls loving Shri Krishna as their husband, loving him with Samanjasa Rati Madhurya Bhav. There are infinite souls in the form of gopis loving Shri Krishna with Samartha Rati Madhurya Bhav. Infinite souls loving him with Vatsalya Bhav. Infinite souls loving him with Sakhya Bhav. So when he comes on this earth, he reveals those different flavors of bliss. We call it ras. The ras of Braj is considered to be the highest because it's free from any touch of almightiness, godliness. In Dwarika and Mathura, there is a mix of some almightiness. So the lovingness and playfulness is slightly restricted. That's a different kind of ras. Over there, Krishna doesn't wear his peacock feather or play his flute. He's not called Kanha or Kanhaiya. He's called my Lord. The Lord of Dwarika, the Lord of Mathura. But that's a different kind of ras, and there are devotees of that style of ras and infinite saints who have attained Shri Krishna in that form. So when he comes on earth, he reveals all these different types of ras. The Braj style of ras for almost 12 years, then Mathura style of ras, Dwarika style of ras, taking part in the Mahabharata war, telling Gita. He does all of these things. But gopis, they say that Krishna who's in Mathura, that's not our Krishna. That's somebody else. Like one time during Ras Leela, Shri Krishna disappeared and gopis were crying out for Krishna to come to them. Oh, where did you go, my beloved? Please come. And Shri Krishna taking his form as Mahavishnu with 4 arms and holding the Shankh in one hand, the lotus in one hand, the disc, divine Darshan Chakra in one hand, and the Gada in one hand. He appeared in their midst, and they all just covered their face out of modesty with their ghungat. Krishna said, "What are you doing? Just now you were crying for me, and now you're hiding your face from me?" He said, "We're not crying for you. We're crying for our Nandalal." He says, "I am Nandalal. What are you talking about?" No, you're not our Nandalal." So gopis had a little meeting, and they said, he's saying he's Krishna, he's saying he's God, so okay, what if he is? Let's ask him for a boon. Okay, so Lalita goes to him and says, Bhagwan gives boons, right, when he appears? So give us a boon. Okay, what boon do you want? We want our Nandalal Krishna. I am your Nandalal Krishna. So this is going back and forth like this. Finally Radharani comes. Hey, what's going on over here? 2 arms disappear from Krishna. Because in front of Radha, there's no touch of almightiness, no possibility. Radha just looks like that. Krishna becomes Krishna. He stops playing around as Mahavishnu. No almightiness is even possible in front of Radharani. So the gopis, they say, our Krishna is Radharamana Krishna, the one who always pleases and serves and plays with Radharani. That is our Krishna. This Krishna who's ruling in Mathura or ruling in Dwarika, that is not our Krishna. So although it's the same Krishna, but he's not behaving the same way. He's behaving in a much more formal way. So gopis are not getting their brajras from that. But the queens of Dwarika want that type of ras. The other saints who love Krishna in that way, they want that ras. So that those queens of Dwarika, they are saints of that class. We shouldn't think, why did Krishna leave gopis and Radha and marry those queens? Those queens are also eternal divine saints. In the divine abode, there are infinite queens like that, just like there are infinite gopis. All are souls with these individual relationships with Sri Krishna. So Radha and Krishna get married or don't get married, they're eternally one. Sometimes they do a marriage Leela, sometimes they don't. Those of you who have read through Prem Ras Madira, you would have seen so many, at least 4, 5, 6 pad kirtan, where Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj is describing young Radha, 5-year-old Radha, quarreling with her mother. Mother, I heard you got me engaged to a dark complexion boy. My friends were all teasing me today that, Radha is the most beautiful. She has all the best qualities. Who could tease her about anything? But her friends found something to tease her about. That our mothers all got us engaged to fair complexion boys, and your mother got you engaged to a dark complexion boy. So Kirti mother, she was just thinking, well, I did. But of course, he's Bhagwan, Shri Krishna. So there's nothing to worry about. But how will I explain to Lali? Lali doesn't even know what is this sagai, what is this getting engaged. How will I even explain that to her? So anyway, in the end, she thought of telling Lali that, the way it works is when whatever boys at this age are fair complexioned, when they grow up, they become dark complexioned. And whatever boys at this age are dark complexioned, when they grow up, they become fair complexioned. So then Lali was happy. Oh, so I'll get to tease all of them? Oh, that's good. Then she was happy. So you see, there are these Leelas of Radha and Krishna getting engaged at a young age. Then someone will get confused. But I thought Radha Krishna didn't get married, right? You must have heard that so many times. Of course they get married. they've gotten married infinite times in infinite avatars. And even sometimes they have a private marriage just for gopis, even Maiya. Either Maiya is not involved. Krishna and Radha and gopis have secret wedding in Bhandirvat, under the big Vat tree in Bhandirvan. Just a Madhurya Bhav Leela, just a Kunja Leela for the gopis to take part in and enjoy the ras of that. So there are all kinds of Radha Krishna marriage Leelas as well. So here Shri Krishna is proposing to Radharani that if you accept, then I would like to get engaged with you. So let's see, how does Radharani respond? Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
मोरी तोरी बन जाए जोरी,
मोरी तोरी बनी जाए जोरी,
मोरी तोरी बनी जाए जोरी,
मोरी तोरी बनी जाए जोरी।
जो माने गोरी गोरी,
जो माने तू गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
जो माने तू गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
जो माने तू गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
So Radhika responds that I feel the exact same way. Ho to banan chaho piye tori. I want to become your beloved. Sada sada ko. I want to become yours forever. Tune hu to mama chit chori. You have also stolen my heart. And bhuli tanu sudhi. I am so smitten by your beauty that I have lost consciousness of my own body. This is the Sahaj Prem between Radha and Krishna. Sahaj means it's natural and automatic, not a decision that they make consciously. One time, Radharani was telling Lalita of a big problem. Ekasya shrutameva lumpati matim Krishneti namaksharam sandronmada paramparamupanayatnyanyasya vanshi kalah. She says, it's a very shameful thing. I fell in love with 2 boys in the last 2 days. Completely lost my heart twice in 2 days. Who does such a thing? Someone was talking and they took the name of a boy named Krishna. And as soon as I heard the name Krishna, my heart was lost. See? She doesn't know who is it. Just the name Krishna, Radha's heart was gone. But then yesterday, Radharani is telling Lalita, yesterday I heard some boy playing on his flute. And as soon as I heard the sound of that flute, I fell in love with him. My heart was gone. So you tell me, Lalita, who could be more shameful than me? My parents will be so ashamed of me. Lalita, meanwhile, had drawn a picture of Krishna, and she shows it to Radharani. Eshasnigdhaghanadyutirmanasi me lagnah sakridvikshanat kashtam dhikpurushatrayeratirabhun manye mriti shreyasi. Showing that picture of Krishna that Lalita had just drawn to Radha, Radha again says, Ab main mar gayi. Third boy in 3 days. Who is this? My heart is gone again. So Lalita says that, oh my Swamini, you are so holy. The one whose name you heard, this is him. And this very one was the one playing on the flute that you heard yesterday. You haven't fallen in love with 3 boys, it's one boy. His name is Krishna. So you see, there's another time Radha and Krishna met for the first time. Then there's another Leela told by Shri Kripaluji Maharaj that one time they met in a dream. Radha tells her Sakhi that last night I had a dream and I was strolling on the banks of Yamuna, and over there I saw a dark complexioned boy, and his beauty was such that I was completely fallen for him. So although it's not a good thing for this to happen, but I have a feeling there's something divine about it. So this was another first meeting of Radha and Krishna. It's a long Pad Kirtan from Prem Ras Madira where Radharani is describing this first meeting with Krishna in her dream on the bank of Yamuna river. So here Radha and Krishna have met for the first time. Shri Krishna has proposed to Radharani, and because Radha and Krishna are one, they have taken these 2 forms only to enjoy their own ras in the form of each other. So their love for each other is immediate and natural. So both have completely fallen for the other one, and Radharani has agreed to marry Shri Krishna. And in the end, Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says, Yuga Yuga Jiya Kripalu Do Jori Piya Hari Pyari Gori. Let this divine couple of Radha and Krishna live forever. Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
Tu hai kori ori braj gori, gori gori gori.
हाँ तो बनन चाहाँ पिय तोरी,
हाँ तो बनन चाहाँ पिय तोरी,
हाँ तो बनन चाहाँ पिय तोरी,
हाँ तो बनन चाहाँ पिय तोरी।
सदा सदा को गोरी, गोरी गोरी गोरी।
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 तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी,
तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी,
तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी,
तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी
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 तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी
तूने हूँ तो मम चित चोरी
भूली तनु सुधि गोरी 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 गोरी
भूली तनु सुधि गोरी 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 गोरी
भूली तनु सुधि गोरी 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 गोरी
गोरी तनु सुधि गोरी 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 गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
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 युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
प्रिय हरि प्यारी गोरी 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 गोरी
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 गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
तू है कोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
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 युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
युग युग जिय कृपालु दो जोरी
प्रिय हरि प्यारी गोरी 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 गोरी
प्रिय हरि प्यारी गोरी 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 गोरी
यह हरि प्यारी गोरी 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 गोरी
प्रिय हरि प्यारी गोरी 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 गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
गोरी गोरी गोरी
तू है गोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
तू है गोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
तू है गोरी ओरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
तू है गोरी गोरी ब्रज गोरी 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 गोरी
प्रिया प्रियतम की श्यामा श्याम की जगत गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे।